What's up? It's your boy Donnie C back with my first video. I feel like the first video since I reviewed the first episode or the second episode, or maybe it was the 5th episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. They did their reunion now, and I'm definitely gonna get into some things with that. But it's a few things I want to talk about before we get to that. Dun dun dun. So buckle your seats, get ready for the ride, because we're gonna start off with a little bit of the Cheeto in office. Mr. Trump, his orange ass self. You gotta take a sip when you talk about Trump. Donald J. Trump, and the J stand for junk. Donald Junk Trump has decided to veto the stimulus package that would have given more Americans $600. Now, I'm not really complaining because unlike y'all broke asses, I ain't get shit anyway. But, no, I'm just talking shit. But, I didn't get anything anyway because I didn't file my taxes the last 2 years. So I wasn't getting anything until 2021 anyway. So regardless of what happens with this bill, hopefully something happens between Biden coming in office and our tax returns for 2020, because at that point, if you think I'm not filing my taxes and my birthday in March, and I get that refund check real fast, then you out of your mind. But he has vetoed the bill. Donald Trump just continues to show how much of a narcissist, how much of a sore loser, how much of a crybaby he is. This man is still claiming voter election fraud, although his lawyers and his witnesses will not use the word fraud in court because they're under oath. So they cannot use that word in court. However, they use that word in entertainment, media, and in the public to basically gaslight his supporters. And it's a really sad thing and pathetic. And I'm not usually one to say this, because I usually try to respect people's political views. Even if you were a supporter of Scott Walker, or you were a supporter of George W. Bush or his father, or you were a supporter of pretty much any other Republican other than Donald J. Trump, we could be friends, and I could sit in and have political talk with you. We could argue, go back and forth, and it'll just be what it is. When it comes to Donald J. Trump, Donald Trump, Donald baggy-eyed Trump, I can't, unless you're directly related to me, because I do have a cousin that supports Trump that I still love. But unless you're related to me, you better not bring that man up in a way that say you support him. Okay? I cannot support somebody who supports openly or privately Donald Trump. Do you know what you support? And it's like, though his supporters don't have no damn common sense. It's like y'all forget everything that you've learned that taught you to think for yourself. Trump, let me tell you something. Trump is claiming that the Democrats stole the election, right? If the Democrats stole the election, why would they not steal the election and steal the Senate and the House as well? The Democrats right now are about to be either in a tie in the Senate, or they're going to be the minority. So if they were going to steal the election, why not steal, everything? Why just the presidency? If Joe Biden gets in office and he can't do what he wants to do because the Democrats don't have the majority in the Senate or the House. And then also, why is Trump's only discrepancies in states that he lost? He doesn't have discrepancies in cities and states that he won. He has discrepancies in places that he lost. So I'm highly confused as to how convenient that is, that you only want to debate or fight cases in states and cities where you lost, and you done lost every one of them with your dumb ass. Sit your dumb ass down, in my Martin voice. Child, I can't talk about that man for too long. I start getting a headache. My braids already tight. I can't breathe. Child. So let's move into something a little bit more light before I get into something a little bit more shady. So aside from my YouTube video, what I've been doing, I know it's been like 2-3 months since I've shot a video. I think the last video I shot was before my cousin passed, and that was in August. So that would mean 4 months almost since I've shot a video so forgive me for the delay, but I have not shot a video, excuse me, going on my grammar. I have not shot a video, even though it's a double negative, I'm aware. Excuse me. I have not shot a video, but I have been doing some things. I started a podcast that has been in the works for a little while now. Shout out to Jamal and Brittany for doing the podcast with me. We shot our pilot episode last week Saturday, and it went really well. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, and in a few episodes, once we secure a few episodes, you will be able to find us on iHeartRadio as well. So make sure you support us and help us gain traction. The podcast is called Horizontal Refreshments. So a lot of people were wondering, like, why is it called Horizontal Refreshments? And it's called Horizontal Refreshments because horizontal refreshment was a euphemism for sex in the 1860s. So if you wanted to tell someone you want to have sex with them without saying, let's have sex, you would say, you're trying to get a horizontal refreshment. Same way we use words like cutty or, shoot her club up these days. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like all of the euphemisms we use now, but this was in the 1860s. And it wasn't a very popular one. However, I went to a website that had 400 euphemisms for sex because we knew that our podcast would be primarily about sex. And that one stood out to me. And when I sent it to Jamal and Brittany, they were like, that sticks. Because we had so many different names, All in Your Throat, Art of Darkness, Red Light District. We had so many different names before, but when I said horizontal refreshments, we were like, wait, stop, that's it. And so make sure you tune in. We shoot every Friday, so if you're friends with me on Facebook, it will be Facebook Live every Friday at 6 p.m. starting January 8th. So if you're not friends with me on Facebook, please feel free to add me at Donnie Carter. You'll see a picture of me as a child along with my deceased cousin as a child. So there'll be a light-skinned guy and a dark-skinned guy in the picture, and we'll both have on Power Ranger outfits. So that's going to be my main picture probably until the new year, because what I plan on wearing on New Year's, I might have to change my main picture. You know what I'm saying? But for now, that is my main picture. So if you would like to watch it live, then please, by all means, watch it live. However, if you can't watch it live, or you don't want to watch it live, or it's not convenient for you, you can definitely find us on Spotify and Apple Music. Apple's podcast. In addition to iHeartRadio coming up every Monday at 12 p.m. after our show. So our show shoots on Fridays. Our episode is produced and put on main streaming services by Monday at noon. So make sure you tune in one way or another. Don't forget to rate us. And don't forget to be interactive with us. Let us know what you think, because, we're trying to do some things. So RHOA is on, for those of you who follow Real Housewives of Atlanta. And RHOP is ending, for those of you who follow Real Housewives of Potomac. I think the last time I shot this video, we had not, Real Housewives of Atlanta was not airing yet. And I'm going to be very honest and transparent in saying that the Real Housewives of Atlanta is being overshadowed by the Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm enjoying Real Housewives of Potomac more this season than I am enjoying Real Housewives of Atlanta. We are on the third episode. However, I've only watched the first two. I'm at my mom's house, so I'll probably watch the third episode tonight before I go to bed this Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, y'all. But I probably watch my episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, the third episode, tonight But however, it's been very stale, very boring, very sit your ass down somewhere before I slap the fuck out of you, girl. That's what it's giving me. Like, girl, good night. However, RHOP, Real Housewives of Potomac, is giving me, bitch, stand up, you done graduated, you walking across the stage, get your degree, and take your picture, bitch. So to put it into comparison, RHOP is giving me 35-year-old middle-aged woman with a degree that got her own hair salon or her own business somewhere, and RHOA is giving me bitch off second umbrella, prostituting on a couch, you know, or a bed with no box springs on the floor of a dirty ass house that's rat and roach infested. That's the, you know. But since I'm being nice, I'm just gonna gloss over RHOA and say, girl, bye. I'm done with you. And then just hop into RHOP. So RHOP, is, the first part of the reunion was especially good. The second part was good. Not as good as the first, but the second part was good. The first part of the reunion, Monique bringing out that binder. Lord. Is it hot in here or is it just me? Monique bringing out that binder is full of receipts to tell that girl that her husband is spreading his big D all through his congregation. That's exactly how I did. I died. And then when she said his number out loud, I did that again. And then when she said, you come to this reunion with a different man sitting behind you every year, I'm quoting Monique. You come to the reunion with a different man sitting behind you every year. I hope he's actually here to sit behind you this time. The way Karen looked over and said, is Jamal here? And Giselle paused and was like, no, she said, of course not. They did not come to play with that hoe. Giselle couldn't even say anything. And I was having a debate with people about whether or not the read that Monique and Karen did to tag team Giselle was better than the read that Phaedra gave that says, you know, while she's worried about my baby daddy, she doesn't know if her baby daddy be an axe murderer or a child molester. Because what she will know is he needed $10 to order him a medium-sized pizza so he ejaculated in a cup so you could have a kid. Now check that. Child, we were trying to debate which one was more epic. And I have to say that the more epic one has to be Monique and Giselle for me, just because Phaedra did read the fuck out of Kenya, and both Kenya and Giselle had nothing to say. However, Phaedra had one bullet in her gun. She fired it off, pow! Okay, get your shit off. Monique and Karen had like a Uzi. And it was like, like they were firing shots. They both got assassinated. They both were killed. Speaking of Kenya and Giselle, metaphorically, of course. But Monique and Karen to me was a better read session just because it lasted longer and it was a team effort and they didn't just gut punch her once. They gut punched her like 50 times. And all Giselle could do is laugh and smile and not say anything. And I mean, what can you do? Something like that. But RHOP is overtaking RHOA right now. But I'm never going to turn my back on my girls on RHOA. So I definitely still will watch. Drew's situation is very intriguing. This beef with Portia and Kenya, although it's getting stale, they've been beefing since they've been on the show. Kenya been jealous of Portia since she's been on the show, and Kenya has a lot to say about Portia's activism as she sits at home and does nothing but cry over Mark daily, and you know, gain all that weight from the food that she's been eating through the quarantine with your fat ass. That's why you're mad, because Portia's still thick. Because Kenya looked like Mrs. Puff from SpongeBob in the face, because you know she already had bad skin and dents in her skin, and then bitch you had a nerve to get big and then blow the fuck up, and now you look like a sponge for real, like Miss Puff. Girl, That's why you mad at Portia. Portia didn't make you gain that weight. Corona did. So be mad at Corona, not Portia. Next case. The last thing I want to talk about is Megan Thee Stallion. And just, you know what? I was going to say her album, but let's talk about her career in general. Body has dropped as the latest single. And everybody is bodying. But in addition to that, her album did drop, and she's been doing hell of live performances, and they have all slayed. Especially her Apple Music performance. But when I say especially her Apple Music performance, that's not to take away from her AMA performance. Megan just performs her Don't Stop video. Her body video is sickening. Okay? Body is doing really well on the charts. Megan is the new it girl female rapper. I mean, I don't know how if these girls will have longevity like a Nicki Minaj, but what I can say is although Nicki has inspired a lot of these girls to get out there and rap and to be able to be mainstream and to have an actual career in this space, Nicki is not the strongest performer. And these girls are eating. When Cardi first came on to the scene, and mind you, this is coming from a Barb. I'm a very big Nicki fan. But when Cardi first came onto the scene, she upped the level of performance expectancy from female rappers. Megan has taken that bar and put it here. Megan is hands down the best female rapper performer that we've had since, I will say, Missy Elliott. And I will even take it a step further and say, although her visuals can never serve you, Missy, her live performances are much better than Missy's. Missy was a visual artist and a creative. She was about beats. I don't think Missy was ever even known for her lyrics. But that just goes to show everyone has a different lane, because Nicki is not known for her videos or her performance skills. She's known for her bars. Whereas girls like Megan, she's kind of like trucking along a lot, because unlike Cardi, Megan can actually rap and she has stage presence. And all of Cardi's, some of Megan's live performance have been lip sync. However, it's way less obvious with Megan, and I think that's because of Cardi's accent. That's her downfall. But Megan appears to rap live and is just the greatest female rap performer that we've had. I would say period. Her performances give me Beyonce, they give me Michael Jackson influence, and I know some people are going to say that's a stretch. I'm not saying the woman is dancing like Michael. She commands the stage like he does, and it's just like some of the breakdowns, you can tell that Michael has had an influence on performers overall. And then when it comes to Beyonce, I don't know if it's a Houston thing or what, but Megan gives me Majorette in some instances, and Beyonce gives me Majorette overall. She's a glorified Majorette at that. But that's another discussion. But I wanted to talk about Megan's album and some of my favorite songs on her album. Megan opens the album with Shots Fired. So, you know, Shots Fired is all about Mr. Lanez himself and about the situation that she went through with him. Fuck you, Tory. And fuck Kelsey too. Bitch. Fat nose bitch. Anywho, love that song. One of the standout tracks to me. She then goes into Circles, which I love Circles. The reason I love Circles is for multiple reasons, because the song is true, but also in addition to that, it has a Jasmine Sullivan sample, and I love that. She then goes into Cry Baby featuring the Baby. You won't hear me playing that because I don't like that song, and I love the Baby, and I love Megan. But that song is not one of my faves because It sounds like a Megan feature, first of all. It sounds like the baby song featuring Megan instead of her song featuring him. And the production is not that great in my opinion. And in addition to that, Megan's verse wasn't as strong, and neither was the baby's. It's neither one of their best work, especially for them to come from Cash Shit. And they had another, and Nasty. Like, for them to come from those two songs to Crybaby, I'm like, okay, y'all. Now y'all just getting lazy, because y'all had such great chemistry on the other two singles. And that's what y'all came up with for Megan's debut album. So the next song is called Do It On A Tip, which I also won't be playing because I don't like that song either. And when I was listening to Megan's album in order, I started to get nervous because I'm like, okay, this is track number 4. I like the first 2, the second 2. So I'm like, is this album gonna be mediocre? Is it gonna live up to, the hype? So Do It On A Tip. Girl, keep it. Featuring the City Girls. I can't stand Young Miami's voice sometimes. It's like the beat has to complement her voice. She already can't rap. Just keep it, Jesus. But let's move into Sugar Baby. So as you can see, Sugar Baby does sample a Webby single. And I like the song because I like the Webby song, and that beat is recognizable anywhere if you grew up African American in the hood. I don't know about you bougie motherfuckers, but if you grew up, even semi-hood, you should know that beat. So I did like Sugar Baby just because I thought it was a good use of the sample. The next song is called Movie, which is also another one of my favorite tracks. So this features Lil Durk, and I love Lil Durk, so I was very into this feature, and I thought this was a good song. I actually think it should be her next single if this next song is not her next single, because we get into Freaky Girls featuring SZA, which was also a banger.
What Juicy say? Like, shut the fuck up!
The next song we get into is Body Yaddy 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 Yaddy. So, of course I like this song. It went viral. Oh, I accidentally turned it. So the next song after that, since the phone is gonna force me to move into it, is called What's New. I did like this song too. I like the little whistle thing that she did in the hook. You can hear it in the beat regardless. So the next song was Work That and Rodeo. I feel like she sampled Juvenile. The next song is called Intercourse, with some people I never heard of before. Apparently their names are Popkin and Mustard. I did like the song. It gave very Caribbean vibes. It gets very crossover hit too. So the only song on the album I haven't listened to is called Go Crazy, which features Big Sean and 2 Chainz. I've heard great things about it from my best friend. However, she's a big 2 Chainz and Big Sean fan, so I'm not sure I can trust it, because it's like me with a Nicki song. Like, there's very little I'm not gonna like. Don't Rock Me to Sleep is like a pop crossover record, very Nicki Minaj-esque. I did like that song as well. I'm not gonna play it, but I did like that song as well. I think I might have lied and said the only song I didn't hear was Go Crazy, because outside.
What Juicy say? Like, shut the fuck up! Real hot girl ass nigga.
Yeah, I never heard Outside either. Cause when she yelled "We're outside," I thought the song may have been about fighting, but then she opened up the verse with "She got every kind of purse." I haven't listened to the song through, so I gotta get back to y'all on Outside and Go Crazy. Then the last three songs are the songs that we know: Savage featuring Beyonce, Girls in the Hood, and Don't Stop, Pop That Cat, just like that, check that shit, work it, bitch. So, I obviously like all three of those singles. So overall, I'm gonna say I do like Megan's album. When I usually like someone's album, it's usually because it's a very cohesive body of work and it flows. I'm not even the biggest Cardi B fan, but Cardi B's first album was definitely an A+ because it was cohesive, it had versatility, and it flowed. Megan gets a B+ from me, even though I'm a bigger fan of Megan than Cardi B, only because although I did enjoy Megan's album, it was not versatile enough for me. I need for Megan to start giving me some versatility, because even Cardi gave it to me with songs like, Ring and I Went Through Your Phone, and what was the one she released? Be Careful. Megan is never vulnerable. She's never really opened up and, aside from that song What I Need, which is a song that I love, one of my favorite Megan songs, she's never really been versatile or vulnerable. In addition, for Good News to be her debut album, I wanted it to be better than Fever. Fever has been her best body of work thus far, in my opinion, and Fever should have been her debut album. Fever definitely was a vibe. I also want to know why Hot Girl Summer was left off of the album. I know that song came out over a year ago before the album came out, but Cardi's Bodak Yellow also came out close to, if not over a year, when Cardi released her Invasion of Privacy album. So, I feel like you should put your signature songs on something, because, your signature songs are what makes you hot. And that was Megan, in my opinion, that was Megan's first big hit. Actually, that's not even my opinion. That was her first top 20 hit. So she definitely should have included Hot Girl Summer at some capacity. It charted higher than Don't Stop. It charted higher than Girls in the Hood. And I don't know. I just feel like Hot Girl Summer should have been included. Maybe she felt like 4 singles before a debut album was too many. But it is what it is. But overall, I did like Megan's album, and I'm looking forward to see what she does next, because she had a great year. I'm wondering how quick she's gonna put out her sophomore album, and how she's gonna go about continuing her flight to success. Megan is a household name now. Watch out. So that's all I got for y'all today. Before I leave, I want to say 2 things. Don't forget to support Horizontal Refreshments. It's our podcast. Again, we could definitely use your support in building our platform and pushing that forward. And lastly, the last thing I want to say is that although everything in this video is not something that my cousin would have supported me speaking of, he would be annoyed about my female rap selection. I do want to dedicate this video to my cousin in loving memory of Warren Carter, who tragically died August 21st in a motorcycle accident upon impact. My cousin was one of the goofiest, funniest, most talking shit motherfuckers that you could ever know. We were close-knit, particularly me, him, Lisa, Kimsey, and Don, which are all my other cousins that we grew up with like siblings. And to not have him anymore, it still doesn't feel realistic. It still doesn't feel like he's not here. I don't know, we just celebrated his birthday this year. His birthday was January 13th. And now that we're less than a month away from his birthday, where he would have turned 30 2 months before me, it's not even, I don't know, it's not even something I ever thought would happen. I'm so used to him turning an age before me, 2 months before me, and being like, I'm older than you, big little cousin, because I was taller than him, and I used to call him little big cousin. So I dedicate this video to him just because I know that he would have supported me and he would have been down the same way I was down for him and supporting his hockey and supporting him as he became a father and purchased his first home and was definitely moving his life in the right trajectory. So shout out to Lil Warren, January 13th, 1991 until August 21st, 2020. This year has not been easy for any of us. So as we wrap up this year, the last Christmas is now. So Merry Christmas. But the last week of this year, please stay safe. And hopefully 2021 brings us much more joy than 2020 did. Because 2020, it held no prisoners, okay? This year said, you know what, fuck y'all. I don't care what y'all got going on. I'm finna come through and blast y'all shit. So stay safe. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And go find Horizontal Refreshments on any streaming platform. That's it. That's all I got. Y'all stay safe. Love y'all. And I will see y'all sooner than the last time I shot a video.